Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Sid Meier's Civilization 5 as Indonesia. At least, I think it's Indonesia. I don't know, it's been a while since the last episode that I played, and of course those episodes were horribly rushed, just because of some pretty gnarly deadlines on my side. So I feel bad about that. I mean, obviously we're still going to ruffle stomp the AI here, but it didn't have to be in such a sloppy way. But anyway, let's move on. Looks like we've got to choose a production here in Memphis, and the question is just whether we need more ships or not. I keep bouncing back and forth on it, and probably I should just be pumping out ships nonstop. I mean, maybe it's less important in some of these border spots, but you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. We're going to keep going with frigates. I don't think we need any more melee ships. We're going to take Thebes next turn as soon as we've not, screwed up our own little navigation center here. We're going to lose our cannon. The bigger question is mostly the Byzantium stuff, or the Byzantine stuff. Constantinople may or may not actually fall in the number of vessels we have here, which is kind of a shame. We might lose Truro, but that's far from being a problem. So, again, we're not going to lose the game in any way whatsoever. We're just going to look a lot less cool winning. And coolness counts for something. Maybe not for much, but it does. And yeah, maybe I should have liberated Sydney and Melbourne as well in the war against Carthage, just to get a perma ally for the rest of the game. But again, I don't think that's a massive priority. I would like to send more vessels in the direction of Constantinople, but we found out that they've got a bit of a navy. Not much of a navy. I guess a lot of it is actually around Truro at this point. I probably don't need to keep a ship near Bandung, so let's keep moving over to the west side over there. We're losing some friends and things like that. We've got a little bit of money, and actually we're building wealth in a few places, which is probably okay. I think the idea was to rush by units defensively in Truro, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more clearly. I assume... Do we have enough money to get one? We could buy a cannon. We can buy another Gatling gun. We can actually faith out stuff. That's right. We actually don't need the money. We've got the faith purchase. So what I do need to do is move the cannon out. So we're going to do that. And then that opens up place for something. Now, I can't faith buy ships. I can money buy ships if there's not one in there, which I think is what I'm looking to do. So I guess we can do both. Let's faith buy... should we do a musketman? Can't fight against ships with that. We could just buy some cannons and shoot that way, and that might not be a terrible idea. Or more Gatlings. I actually wouldn't mind a cannon sitting in the city. You know what? We're going to pick one of those up. And we might just leave that cannon there to shoot at the ships, and that might be enough of a defense. Truro's defenses are relatively low, and it's pretty heavily damaged as is, but... no, Theodora, I refuse. I absolutely positively need to take your city. There's no option there. It is interesting to see that she was losing money, though. I will refuse that peace treaty as well, because I have to take your capital. I feel bad about Ramses. I've already injured him quite a bit. Truro going down a little bit more. Now, yeah, we will move the frigate out, because that way we open up the possibility of purchasing another one. Now, he doesn't have any melee ships, which is actually really good, because that could have caused us a significant amount of trouble. He's actually got no melee anything around, which makes me very happy. Let's work on the vessels. Let's shoot him. These are less threatening, I think, than the ship. Yeah, we want to sink the navy as much as possible. A lot of our places can shoot. What is this? Budapest privateer. Indonesian privateer. Oh, actually, you can take a shot too, can't you? Come on. Target. Thank you. Who are you shooting? Oh, yeah. The rifle over here. So we're getting our land torn up, which is less than ideal. Golden Age has ended. Oh, that's a shame. Enemy unit over there. Cannon was bombarded by Thebes. Yeah. So, I mean, that sucks. All right, let's move you out of the way. Let's make sure to... we'll go naval. It's fine. There we are. And that should auto-win. You know what? I'm going to play it super safe. Bring it literally down to 0. I would hate for something really weird to happen. We are going to create a puppet here. What does Thebes actually have? I was going to say, it's Egyptian, so it's probably got a lot of wonders. It's got a handful of wonders. Alhambra, Bodur, Colossus, Great Library, the Great Mosque, which is not terribly important for us. Notre Dame is really useful because it's paying for itself in terms of happiness. Stonehenge, handy but fine, and a fair number of art pieces, actually. So that's a pretty good take. I'm going to see what Egypt might be interested in selling to me. What do you got? You got dudes up there. At some point you were willing to give me Elephantine, but of course now it's your new capital, so you're not going to give me that. You might offer me Alexandria, which does have whales, but I've already got that. I don't think I actually want any of their cities. It will just cause a little bit more overreach. Doesn't actually help us at this point. Any money he's got, I will take, but other than that, yeah, he would give me Alexandria. He's got no money. I think I'm just going to end up taking a white piece out of this. Yeah. I don't think there's any reason at all to take Alexandria. Not given the victory conditions we're kind of pursuing. It would just drop our happiness into the tank. So, give me 16 gold. And I'll force an embassy on you. There we go. Hooray! Peace! Peace in our time. Monument is done here. Good for you. We'll throw down some walls, just in case. I had to sneeze. Oh, God, what is it about this game? I've got such an allergy to it. Okay. The vessel is all done over here. We don't need you at this end of town anymore. We need you potentially moving towards the Byzantium coast, which is way over this way. So, start a long journey. I don't think you'll get there in any time that's relevant, but we're going to send you in that direction anyway. Are we still at war with any city-states that I could peace out? No, no. Yes. You're not even allied. I probably could have pieced out with you for a while there. It's funny we're at war and we're still quite friendly, actually. Is there any reason I might want to suck up to you? Well, I still don't have any coal. You do have access to coal nearby. Now, whether you count as having that hooked up or not is really the question mark. You know, let's pop you up to being an ally temporarily. Yeah, coal. Or maybe I misread. No, I think that's from them. Maybe I misread and I was looking at the oil. That's entirely possible. It seems like the sort of thing I would do. World map right over there. Let's not make you go all the way here. I'm a little worried about you. Yeah, over here. I'm a little worried about these ships running into some enemies. You? Really? You're bombarding my worker? That's very cruel. There's no way for me to run away from the coast either. Well, just try to make it to Batum, and then you can heal up. You're running out of food, that's okay. We got some city connections down. Frigate was destroyed. That does suck. Can we bombard from over there? Yeah, we've got the big range. And yeah, we're not gonna have enough bombard power to take out Constantinople without the other ships. Which, I mean, we're gonna be able to make it, but it just sucks for our timeline. Come in this general direction. And where's that other vessel that I was just looking at? That was damaged. I wanted to move it into the city. Where are you? It looked like it still had action left, which is what I was confused about. Well, I don't know. Hopefully we'll be okay. Made peace. Ramses lost their capital. Yeah, what does our victory condition look like right now? It's only Constantinople that needs to fall. Okay, good. Alright, you've declared war, which is not really going to make much of a difference. So yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that we sent slightly too few ships... Oh my god. The bombard strength is pretty high. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to pull back because we're just going to be losing the cities at this point. Let's take care of the ship anyway. Boom. Boom. Let's do that. Oh, and actually capture a frigate. Nice. Meanwhile, let's, what am I doing spreading the shots out? You can take barrage. Move to here. Shoot that. Purchase another frigate. You've got no one to shoot at. Just be on wake-up mode. Got a privateer that is damaged. So I should probably repair him before moving to Constantinople. In fact, he's too far away from Constantinople to ever do anything. You repair yourself in Thebes. Wait. Who are you allied with? Really? Oh, you joined the war because of Constantinople. I assumed you joined the war because of Byzantium. I mean, this video, I'm sure I knew at the time. Because I think I remember that flip happening. Clear him out. Get that. Well, with that in mind, just go and rest up in here. You go and hide in here. Okay, with Sidon. Don't know if I need to do anything. If they're like right on the front, I might want to pop them up to a lot allied status. Oh. Alright, well, you can totally come over here. I don't think you can take Carthage as is. I've got lots of faith. Oh, I can't faith buy in this city because it's a puppet. I'm wondering if I should turn around and fight it. Well, if they don't have any sort of melee ships, then they're not going to take Carthage. The thing is, if this was a normal city, I wouldn't be concerned. But the fact that this is a capital, if I lose it, it screws up my victory condition progress. And then I would be cranky. Actually, I can actually hide in the city and then shoot. So I'm definitely going to take that opportunity. Yeah, he's got a few more vessels over there. Or she does. Theodora potentially being female. I mean, I don't know. Just because she kind of looks it, I shouldn't make any assumptions. I don't know anything about the Byzantines, except that they're very complicated. Maybe that's how complicated they are. All right, choose production in Athens. Athens, not too far from Carthage. Or from, not Carthage, Constantinople. Go frigate. Although, you know what? I may want to get a backup privateer if I keep taking damage like this. Buddhist missionary. I don't know why you're here, but let's spread you anyway. You go and hide that way. Worker, just sit in the city. This frigate. Wait, where did those ships go? Are they going to Bandung? Did you go back north? Huh. You, blow up that. Excellent. There we go, clear all that up. I'm going to move you to somewhere maybe a little bit safer back here. So you're going to be less of a priority for any new ships that happen to pop up. Oh, there was another a city that could take a shot. Damn it. Yeah, at this rate, Constantinople is going to be fully repaired before we can get more ships in there. Remember, I wanted to go into the inner sea as well. I think that's what started a lot of my problems with losing a bunch of ships. All right, moving... Well, I can't just auto-move you all the way. I'm a little concerned about running into that Byzantine navy. Okay. I know I denied experience points in my ships over here killing that, but I really want my ships to just move at this point. Well, you've got the long-range shot, so I guess you're going to go there. This is only range 2, and I really don't want to expose any more ships to anything. Okay, I don't see anything over here. These are all my frigates. Yeah, again, don't go all the way. Privateer. Several turns away. Oh, if only I'd managed the attack on Constantinople better. Well, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have split my forces as much or something. I kind of like the two-front war. In theory, it could have been, you know, fast and awesome. All right, I can go around to the north here. Well, that's very good. Yeah, that's exceptionally good. You have built a factory. Congratulations. You're relatively far from the front. I should probably just build money so I can buy stuff that's closer. Yeah, we're just going to do that. I mean, there's plenty of good, valuable buildings all over the place. Happiness is fine. Just building more wealth. You are not that far away. How fast can you pop out ships? I mean, and it's open sea. It's not terrible. A lot of one-turn things, too. It's like hard to ignore these buildings because it would be really nice, but I do feel like building money and then just buying units closer to the front, which mostly means Truro over here. Yeah, let's do the wealth thing. It's not adding much on everyone, but it's doing a little bit. Go be naval, that's fine. What else we got? No longer allies, no longer friends. Peace with city-states. Dido. Okay. Bombard from Krakow over here. Boom. You just sit around there in case more barbarians show up. Well, we won't get barbarians because you're sitting around there. Do a little bombard. Make it a little love. Get down tonight. So now the question is if we're going to go back into kind of bombard mode. Or whether I want to enter the city's radius this turn or not is actually what I'm looking to say. And I don't think I will. And I stop here. This doesn't have range of 3. Yeah, we'll just move in as close as we can with everything. And then we'll go into bombard next turn. Not at war with Yerevan, am I? Oh, there. No. Okay. End turn. Cannon, you've got nothing to shoot off. Just auto wake up if anyone comes nearby. We'll do the same thing with the Gatling gun. Yeah. Let's move up in part. A little more. A little more. Okay. You're fine. Frigate over here. You actually got a fair trip to get anywhere. But do your best. Hopefully the war will end before you get there, but I guess I shouldn't hold my breath. Speaking of, yeah, this is another guy who's pretty far away. We're annoying Vilnius. Sorry about that, Vilnius. Just make me wealth. And I'm tempted to drop a castle on this for defensive purposes, but I don't think it matters at this point. More wealth. I know it like hardly generates anything. It's foolish in many ways. If we're playing this for any sort of long-term goal, it would be quite foolish. That's not what I'm looking for. Stop clicking on that. Just confirming. Yeah, we do just need the one more capital, so. All right. So now we're going to go back into shooting range. Oh, wait, this is the same turn. God damn it. I thought it was a new turn. I don't think it can one-shot my frigates as is. Well, I guess I can move in more stuff if I want at this point. Doesn't really matter. But this guy could. I think the ships that were being one-shotted were probably when that other frigate came by. Alright. I hate when you hit the end turn and it's still like, oh, hold on, we're not end turning for real. No, that was just a fake. We're just trying to fool you. Like, how many times am I going to have to hit the button? No. I'm actually not interested in fighting the cannon. It would just delay me. Next turn for real? Next turn for real this time. No, can one-shot our guys outright. That is sick. Yeah, I really wish I hadn't moved that guy in there because that lost that ship for no goddamn reason. And there's still the problem that there's really a limited number of people that can come in here and actually be bombarding at any given time. Unless I make it through the inner sea. Which I will work on, I guess. I didn't leave myself with any movement. That won't work either. Got some more ships there, pretty heavily damaged. Move you over this way. Pillage that. Another great admiral. So what I should do is teleport you to Truro, which is a very cool ability. Also, we can purchase more bombarding ships, more frigates. And we have enough money to make another purchase as well. No, we'll just save it for Truro next turn. That's fine. I could actually use my cannon. I think it's going to be safe from that rifle. So I've got quite a navy going on over there. Goddamn, Constantinople is taking so much more effort to kill than I thought it would. You are so far away, you're never going to do anything relevant. Same thing over here. You are microscopic and irrelevant. But I will build... no, I don't even need a castle here. Build me wealth. Such a puny, pathetic little amount of money. Athens actually is a little bit more in the front. I think we will keep building ships in Athens. Plus it builds them relatively quickly. Alright, let's go. Next turn. Theodora has made peace with Kuala Lumpur. I mean, I could bribe some more city-states that are nearby, but there's really not a lot of good options. I mean, Sidon is not too far away. God damn it. We're losing these ships so frickin' fast. I actually shouldn't leave my ships in here at all. I gotta move the entire navy in the inner sea. Again. I mean, I'm sure I learned that lesson once already, but this is getting to be really frustrating. Sit there. Come up this way. We can keep pumping ships at it, but I don't think we're actually going to solve the problem this way. It's so annoying that the movement rates of those two aren't synced up anymore. You'd just be automated. You'd probably die because I'm not paying attention to you. Boo-hoo. I would like to engage the Navy, but I think it's actually more... there's not an... It doesn't connect. God damn it. So, inadvertently, apparently I'm doing things right, and then I just got to keep throwing ships at the problem up here. The problem is I can only bombard with, like, I guess 4 ships at once, because I've got the one with range of 3, and that's it. That is all I can do, so it's just going to be a matter of just throwing ship after ship after ship at the problem. Oh, I didn't actually get a bombard off there. That sucks. I don't care where you're going with the cannon. You sit tight over here. Wow! All we gotta do is try to hit the predefined kill limit. That's the best we can hope for. Lost another ship. Well, we can even throw the damaged one at them, since it clearly doesn't really matter what happens here, because it's all going to be the same. Lose 1 ship per round until you win. You know? Well, you got the range of 3. If we had more guys with a range of 3, it would work out a little bit better. And, of course, when we get our great general, or great admiral over there, which I probably should have moved in, because it would have helped a couple of more bombards. But, hey, I'm bad at this game. You go there. You go there. I guess we're going to blow up these ships. Just because they're there. You go stand there. You've got nothing to bombard, so end your turn. This will help, though, if we can get this up here. We can bombard from across the way. That'll actually help a good deal, even if it just saves one of our ships or something. You are going to purchase yet another frigate. You're also going to purchase a Gatling gun, maybe a cannon. We can use a cannon for a few different things. It's going to be fine. Cancel everyone out. 100 damage. That's sick that they're doing that much. Zanzibar declared war. Alright. I'm not concerned. Steam power is discovered. And we got a great engineer. Yay! Bombard that guy. Everyone wants spices. We lost our damaged frigate, which we just captured from Byzantium anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Furs, furs, furs. Bombard and not kill, which is kind of a shame, but I'm not too concerned over. Move you that way. I think at this point we've got enough vessels to keep throwing at the problem. Oh, damn it, I did it again. You're the one who can't bombard, you're the one who can. And I'm going to have to remember to leave a little bit of a gap so my privateer can actually walk in. Do that. I don't think it really matters for this. Set up. Could pillage to heal, but no, just take the bombard. If we lose it, it's fine, because we're going to win the next go anyway. So nothing else really matters. Here, just for crits and giggles, we'll go and blow that up. And you are safe, but we're going to move you... Yeah, you're fine. Repair the tile. Choose production. Sure, we'll queue up another frigate, even though it really doesn't matter. And our great engineer. Is there a wonder we might be interested in building? Might just build a workshop with this guy. I'll keep you around for now. The game's actually going to be over in 2 seconds. I'm still pissed. Yeah, wow, couldn't do anything. All we have to do is just throw ridiculous numbers. Kind of feels silly, but what can we do? We'll keep bringing in the fleet just in case something completely wonky happens. I'm going to overkill the problem this time. Actually, we might not win next turn because I'm not going to be able to move these ships away. They're going to have to finish a full course of bombarding. Sure, but could you give me more? Alright, fine. Actually, it would have been nice if he hadn't killed the cannon. If he'd prioritized the ships. So, it's mostly this frigate. Well, okay, let's start with the range 3. Now, would it win? Probably. So, it can't make the move now, because I'm in the way, right? But if I move this frigate back, I should be able to hop in here and take it, assuming that I can actually win. And if I can't, I suppose I have a backup privateer. Okay, move back. That should open up the gap and allow us to actually attack the city. Kabam! Well, there we go. I got 3 achievements for this one as well. Everyone wants to rule the world, the JavaScript, and island hopping. It's my first victory on Archipelago. What's kind of funny is the comments at this point are filled with people saying, "Oh, you always do domination victory." It's like, the last game was a domination victory. I've actually have a video of me winning in every single way, which is kind of funny. And part of the problem is that the higher up you go in difficulty, the more and more that domination becomes really the only viable victory type, just because of the different bonuses that the AI gets. But yeah, so we ended up number one in everything except soldiers, which is kind of odd that we weren't ahead in soldiers. Greece actually rebuilt their army considerably. It's also kind of funny to me that we were number one in approval rating, because that never ever happens. So I'm actually really confused by that. Let's go into the replay here. Not this one. We want the... Well, graphs are cool, but the map. Map is what I'm looking for. So we started... Trying to spot myself. Were we not here? Oh, wait, we hadn't founded the city yet. Because that's Assyria. There's the Great Desert. So we founded our first city way over there. Kind of confused at the start because I had expected Archipelago to be a lot of very tiny islands, and it didn't turn out to be that way. You get a lot of range, I think, when you generate an Archipelago map. I think it potentially also depends on your world size. I mean, this is standard, and I think that resulted in some of the islands kind of merging together a lot more than you might on a huge map, ironically enough, even though in a huge map the islands would all be proportionally bigger as well. It would be less blobby. Oh yes, the Great Desert Fight. I remember that around like episode 3, everyone had declared, or a lot of people had declared that had already lost the game, and it was like, ah. And then I spent all the time fighting the Assyrian siege towers, thinking that they could attack my units. That was great. So let's see, what did I learn in this video? I learned that 1, you could teleport great admirals around. I learned that 2, siege towers cannot attack. I mean, it's like there's the Mongolian battering rams that can't attack units, unless I'm mistaken. But yeah, I don't think I'd ever like fought a land war against Assyria before in that phase. I might be wrong, but and I've never played a game as Assyria, so that's another thing there. So, but I got to do the research, and then yeah. I mean, I don't know if there would have been... it's possible, you know, since we were so far ahead of the game, we pretty much could just have punched our ticket to any victory we want. Well, probably science. It's possible that we would have had to be a little bit concerned about Greece winning a diplomatic victory, sort of, you know, in there somewhere, which we could have countered by going to war with people who had, like Dido, who had taken over city-states, and then we could have liberated them, and we would have had a permanent vote on our part. So there's something... yeah, well, we would have had a permanent alliance, which would have meant a permanent vote. So... there would have been something to be said about that, but otherwise, you know, I think that was a pretty definite sort of victory kind of way. We did lead in score from, like, way, way back here. This is when we took over the score, and then we never left it, and then we started going Super Saiyan over there. Gold return, city connections, making a lot of money, even earlier. Still at a kind of a similar-ish time, but not bad. Deals. Oh, we did a pretty good job there. Culture per turn. We're doing okay culture-wise. Interesting spike of purple there by Byzantium, right before they came crashing down again. Excess happiness. Now, there's a number to look at. So, we're there. It's at -10, so the 0 is somewhere around here. We did spend a big chunk of the game here in negative happiness, but except for... was this when we took over Greece? Because I think... we may have dipped into the negatives for a little bit with Greece. I'm not sure. But, you know, I think I did a better job of managing my happiness this game than I did most games. Which is to say, at all. Golden Ages, yeah, that graph never helps at all. Actual happiness as opposed to excess happiness. Improved tiles. We just had the most land. Military might. You know, we were actually never dominant militaristically. This is like the only period here. That's the only spot where we were the #1 in terms of military. Well, Greece was really ramping up. Now, who is this? Carthage. Yeah, Carthage was a big military monster for a long time there. I think that's when she took over the city-states, but also pissed off a lot of people. It was actually like a diplomatic problem with Carthage. She took over some city-states, got some warmonger, everyone declared war on her, and then all her units just got obliterated. So, known techs, yeah, pretty much in lockstep, everyone. Egypt was actually ahead by a fair bit over here. And I was actually kind of far behind for a while. And part of that is a factor of the difficulty setting. Yeah, I still have the issue where I don't get the National College quite as quick as I could, but I really think that the early game was, you know, kind of worked out in my favor there. You know, who knows? I do still make mistakes, obviously. And the AI is obviously still really bad on Archipelago maps. So who knows what would have happened if this was more like a Pangaea or something. So that'll be the thing. Next video, I am going to be increasing the difficulty by 1 level. And I'm not going to be playing on Archipelago. So the combination of the two, how hard is it going to be to take a win that way? And again, while I would like to pursue different types of victory conditions, again, the higher the difficulty, the more likely that domination... Well, the more you do have to pay attention to sort of military overall. Just because if you don't, the AI will just run away with the game because they get so many bonuses. So unless you directly go into conflict with them, they're just going to surpass you in every category. So we're going to have to look at some amount of warfare. But other than that, we'll see what the circumstances dictate. We'll see who will play. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.